of the path to.
Goeiedag en dankie dat jy ingeskakel het. Dit is ons program Mosaïek. Ja, ons saai van die baie mooi boerein uit en ons is in die biblioteek en ons sê net maar weer dankie vir kruiskyk wat aan die pad kom. Ek lees net gou vir ons uit Romeine 8 vers 28. Die Bybel sê, ons weet dat God alles ten goeie laat meewerk vir die wat hom liefhet, die wat volgens sy besluit geroep is. Is dit nie mooi nie? Ons weet dat God alles laat meewerk, die wat geroep is volgens sy besluit. En so moet ons net vir mekaar bid elke dag. Elke dag is daar mense wat seer is, siek word, nie lekker is nie, maar weet julle, ons is in die hande van ons Vader. En vandag het ek vir Claudia Pope. Dis nou nie die Pope van Rome nie.
No way.
Claudia, dit is nie jou van nie, maar waar kom die Pope van vandaan, weet jy?
Skoonpa het in Engeland groot geword. Actually Ian was born in England. And then in 1940, just before war was declared, he came out here. But my ancestors started in, my grandparents or great-grandparents came from Germany. My surname Schultz.
Okay.
So we're a real mixture of bloods.
Vertel my, jy het nou vir my vertel, waar is jy gebore, wat jy groot geword, Sjoel?
Somme, nee, in die Kaap.
I'm
born and bred in Cape Town, lived in Belleville all my life.
Okay.
I didn't migrate very far to Durbanville when we,
School gegaan daar?
Belleville, and actually a bit of history for Belleville. Where the police station is today, that was the first school I went to.
Okay.
That used to be the primary school in those days. But then for some unknown reason, my parents moved me to Belleville South, where there was another primary school. And I finished my primary school there. And then I went to high school in Belleville, high school, which used to be next to the Civic Centre. That high school has now moved to another vicinity.
Okay.
Yeah,
move around.
Yeah, but yes, no, my father grew up in the Kennard district, so I was very fortunate. I had an oma who lived in Kennard, and I had a granny.
In Kennard? Daar waar ek vandaan kom, maar ek is Appington, Kalkamus, Kennard.
Yeah, I know that part. I love it. I love that part of the world.
Ons moet 'n bietjie terug gaan soen. Hier is so baie mense wat daarvan kom ons die reunie dag gaan hou.
Yeah, I've still got a cousin on a farm in actually Louisville.
Oh, Louisville. Ek was daar in die skool.
Ja, my pa se pa was 'n prokureur in Kennard gewees.
Okay.
So my pa het daar groot geword en my ma het in Engeland groot geword. But she came back to South Africa. Well, she was born in South Africa and then she came back to South Africa, must have been about 1936. But she did her schooling and her nursing trade. She was trained in England. And she met my father because she nursed my grandfather who had cancer. And and they got married, also in Belleville. And then my mother's mother had a beach house right on the beach at Backhaven. So I've got quite a varied, beautiful. I've been very privileged over my life.
En waar het jy gewerk na school?
After school I left and I went into the hairdressing trade. I left school when I was 16 and I trained in Cape Town in what used to be Fletcher and Cartwright's building. I did my 4 years there and then I moved to Goodwood for a while. And eventually I got a job in Durbanville. But I had already met Ian at that stage. Then my father died in his 50th year. He just turned 49. And my mom decided she was going back to England in 1961.
Okay.
Because when I turned 21, he died that year. And then a year and a half later, my mom decided to go back to England. She took my brother and sister with her. And they have lived in England since then. My sister's still there, although my brother came back to South Africa. And Ian and I got married while I was living in Durbanville. We had a business there, so I had to give up hairdressing and started doing, of all things, bookwork. I never...
Bookkeeper.
I did home economics, or in those days it was domestic science and needlework. It was not home economics and all these fancy names they give it. Any case, and then, so I stood on the dockside at 21 or 22 and watched my brother and sister leave this country. That was a hard one, but it was my choice. Yeah. Because I've always loved this country. Because I still go up to Kenard every so often and go and visit the little haunts. The very first time I went through Kenard at 21 and they had a tarred road, I said, "You're joking. This is not Kenard." They used to have a gravel road through Kenard to Uppington. Yeah. Any case, so I've had a good life. Ian and I have been married 61 years in October. And we've got 4 children, 3 boys and a girl.
Are they in the area? Do they stay?
My eldest son immigrated 2 years ago to America for safety's sake for his daughter and his wife, because she's only 16. He's just turned 60 this year. Then I've got a son my second son has got a business in Durbanville. They all had businesses in Durbanville because Ian's business was in Durbanville.
What kind of business?
The first business we had was bicycle business. When I got married to him, he had a bicycle business. And that's more or less when TV came out. And from there, we sold the business because we sort of thought we might go and live in England permanently because my mom and sister were there and my brother. But he came back and he looked at me and he said, "I'd rather be poor in a warm country than poor in a cold country, so we're not going to live in England." Any case. And then he started a 2-way radio business. And my middle son took over the 2-way radio business in Durbanville. And then my youngest son had a security business. Actually, he had a TV business, but then he started security. And then he offered the eldest brother, who was working for a mechanical engineering company, if he would like to take over the TV business, which Norman ran for until he actually sold it. And then he phoned me one day from England and he said, "Mom, the new boss I don't think needs you." No, not from England, from America. He said, "I don't think he needs you." So I said, "No, I don't think so." He says, "And I think at 82, it's time you did retire." So I was put into retirement. But then I'm looking at myself and thinking, a year ago, come this July, I fell and broke my femur. And if I'd been off in and out of hospital as many times as I had been in 4 months, my boss would have fired me in any case. So it was just as well.
Just my provision.
Absolutely. Sometimes these things are meant for a reason, but the Lord knows what you're doing and He knows where you're going and what.
Yeah. Unfortunately, at this age, falling is one of the things we must be so careful.
That's right.
For.
Yeah. But I've had a good life. I've learned in life that you don't judge people. Yeah. It's not my job to do that. I learned that very early in age. I learned to know the Lord. I think before I actually got married, I went to bed one night very upset about something. And during the night I woke up with the most amazing feeling of peace. And I just felt somebody was lying in the bed next to me. Wow. And in actual fact, I think it must have been my father. And I realized that I'm never alone. From then on, my walk has been steady. But as I say, it's not been 60 years of heaven.
Yeah.
I don't think heaven is on earth in any case.
No, you have to. It's give and take and give.
That's right.
Give all the time.
And I don't think he ever gives you anything more that you can't cope with.
No.
But as you cope, if you don't cope, you slide back. And until such time as you cope, he won't give you another step to go up. And in each step that you go up, you learn something different. And in those cases, I realized I'm not here to judge. I'm not here to say I'm better than anybody else, because we're all alike. We're all made in God's image, whichever way you look at it. So, I don't know how long he'll still keep me here. I think he's keeping me here. He's got a sense of humor. He's keeping me here to look after you.
I said to one of the ladies the other day, she said, she's going back home now and going to bed. She asked me, what are you going to do? I said, I'm going to cook. She said, really? I said, yes, that's a privilege of being married.
That's right, that's right.
You have to do the cooking.
Yeah. Now, many times things got bad in my marriage and I thought, okay, I'll bail out. But on several occasions, I've sort of said, Lord, if that's what you want, or you think it's the right thing, then show me. But I tell you, that once or twice that I did say this is enough, he showed me there was no way.
Yeah, no, the thing is what God put together, nobody can separate. But it's wonderful just to know there's somebody with you in the house. It is a blessing. I think we must look at the positive side.
Yeah, well, this is it.
It is better.
I'm afraid I do get a little bit skeptical sometimes because I get very frustrated. I, thank goodness, can still drive, so I can get around a bit. Shame, one of the waitresses here the other day was walked out of the complex and I was going somewhere. I was going to go and fetch my cha. And I hooted as she was crossing over the island. So she said to me, and no. I said, where are you off to? No, she's going somewhere. And then later on that day, she looked at me, she said, my vrou is baie gelukkig. Ek sê, hoekom? Sy sê, maar my vrou kan nog bestuur. Toe sê ek, ja, dis die Here se wil dat ek bestuur.
Yeah.
Because at the moment, my middle son, my eldest son is, my middle son is lying in Cape Gate. He had brain surgery about a month, 2-3 months ago.
Yeah.
And they went to Kruger, and this thing keeps separating. And eventually they flew him home on Thursday last week. And he had to have another. They've cut a hole in the brain now to drain it. So he's lying there waiting to hear what the autopsy is. My third son passed away this August will be 3 years ago. So it's not been an easy walk.
Claudia, we don't know, we wouldn't have taken this over us.
No.
You know what I mean? But God.
Yes. But again, I look at it, he is, I express him as a person who was the life soul of a party. He was on oxygen towards the end of his life. He would never have been happy to be like that. So as far as he was mischievous. If he wanted something, he got it. He went out for it. And I know he's in the best place possible.
Yeah.
I know that he's in God's hands, and that to me is the most important thing.
Yeah. Nobody can touch him.
No. And actually, while I was in hospital one day, I was having sort of illusions and stuff. And even now, I went into hospital for 2 days, stayed there 3 weeks. And in that time, I had illusions about things. And one evening I looked up at the roof, and there was this gold, like a circle or something. And I immediately had the feeling it was actually him.
Yeah.
And it gave me such amazing peace that even though I was there and I got frustrated, I lost a cousin, And my sister-in-law also died while I was in hospital. And I said to him eventually, Lord, what are you telling me? Am I the next one to go? He's got a sense of humor. I'm still here.
God enjoys our sense of humor.
And then my daughter, well, this is Anna Sock. She's a lovely girl, but she's unfortunately not in any pathway at the moment. She works very hard, but she's had quite a tough time. Young daughter.
No, we never stop praying for her.
No, one doesn't.
We never stop praying for our children because
you don't.
They were given to us for a purpose.
But God also blessed us with six grandchildren. Two of them are, one's in the bush in Sabi, he's a forester.
Okay.
The other one's just done a 5-month stint in America for a company of South Africa. And then the two of the girls, both, as I said, next year's a busy year. We've got 2 21s, 180, 190, and 160 next year.
Yeah, so you've got a busy year next year.
Very busy year.
How big is the pension?
It's actually very small, and I definitely can't do anything about it.
Give them each a card.
Well, basically, that's what I do.
Yeah.
Or I spoil them like the ones going overseas now, the eldest granddaughter. Because we've got 2 grandsons and 4 granddaughters. And she's going overseas, and I pack them a little parcel with Super Cs and things, tissues and things that they might need on their trip.
Tell me, Claudia, how come that you ended in Bahrain, you and Ian?
My son, the one who's in hospital at the moment, he has sort of been overseeing Ian's finances for a while. And he called us some time ago and said, with your pension that you've got, unless you sell your house, there's no way that you are going to be able to, if anything goes wrong. And he looked at Bahrain, but quite honestly, I've been very happy here. I did realize my in and out of hospital as I was for 5 months.
Yeah.
It was just as well I was here because I knew Ian was safe.
Yes.
And he was still mobile at the time.
And you were cared for.
And I was cared for. So, and the biggest thing is he was cared for as well, because he does very little for himself. Unfortunately, he's so spoiled.
Yeah, I know he can't.
An only child.
He's not in that position of, he's not healthy.
No.
I think we must realize men goes, unfortunately, backwards earlier or easier as us women. We were actually strong.
Yeah.
So it's good to just...
Yeah. And of course his hobby is a radio ham, but he can't put up an aerial here.
Okay.
So he can't do that. And unfortunately, because he always had his own businesses, he never...
he was not dependent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So no hobbies, no nothing. So
so what are the two of you doing? I know you're going for lunch, you're going to the prayer meetings, you're going to play bowls.
No, I don't play any sport, I'm afraid.
Do you go to the gym?
No, don't. Well, with the leg as it is at the moment, they tell me not to, because they found out I had a clot as well. So until that's dissolved or whatever, I mustn't. But I knit a lot. I knit beanies.
Lovely.
I grew up doing puzzles and reading and knitting and so on. So I knit beanies, and then when I get coffee bottles or plastic bags or even the yogurt containers, we fill them with soup mix and stuff for ladles of love.
Lovely.
And a lady comes and fetches all the stuff from, I think, my stepmother or mother-in-law, and I filled, must be about 50 bottles at the beginning of the week.
Wow.
Then I phone Wendy and say, please come and fetch.
Yeah.
So that keeps me busy.
So you've got family in the retirement center as well?
Yes, it's my son's mother-in-law.
Okay.
So when they went overseas, her one daughter's in Holland and her other one is now in America, and she's only got the 2 children. So she, thank goodness, knocked on the door this morning. I've never been so pleased to see anybody when I had to battle on.
Yeah.
So she actually, when I came over now, she said she'd wait for the sister to come and see what they're going to do with him.
Yeah. Oh,
so, yeah. But
so, but we are well looked after here.
we are.
We are very blessed. We've got lots to do. We've got our TV, we've
That's
got our
right.
radio, we've got
That's
people to say hello and goodbye.
That's right. There's always something.
There's always something.
It's just actually the funniest thing is here. I walked I lived in Tiger Villas and I had a garden with trees and everything around it. And one day I came here to look at the flat. And when I went home that night, afternoon or the evening, and I said, Lord, I don't know what the hang you're doing to me, but here I've got all the trees and the birds and everything. And there I haven't even got a tree. Well, when I went the next time, there was a tree outside my house. So I thought to myself, okay, Lord, you've answered the question. I'm in the right place.
You've got it.
Yeah.
I'm so glad. I'm so sorry to hear about Ian, that you on your way here and he had a fall, so he couldn't come for the interview. But next time
We'll make sure that he comes, don't worry.
Yeah.
He was very upset that he couldn't make it because he sort of planned what he was going to say and everything.
Yeah,
but at the moment, he isn't in a bad space. No. He's been in a bad space for a while. Yeah. But as you know, he was baptized, believer's baptism
and
with me last week.
Talk to me about 2 weeks. You were baptized 2 weeks ago. How did it come around?
Look, I was baptized as a child, strangely enough, in Kenard, because my grandfather had the Anglican church built there. So I knew I was, from that point of view, I had been baptized.
Yeah.
But several occasions when we've had sermons here, and I think Louis mentioned that if you believe, be baptized in my name.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I fell, so there was no chance. I had been offered it on several occasions, but never taken it up because I never thought I was ready for it. But this time it just felt right.
Yeah.
And then, unbeknown to me, Ian decided he was going to be baptized as well.
Yeah.
So, but I'm not going to trespass on his side of things because when he comes, he'll be telling you his side of things.
Yeah, the thing is, the same with me. I was even in my 50s when I started reading about the baptism. And it was so clear to me, Jesus himself said, be saved and be baptized.
That's right.
In Afrikaans noem ons dit die bekeringsdoop.
Dis reg.
Bekeer jou en laat jou doop. En ja, dit was vir my ook 'n journey geweest wat fantasties was, wat ek regtig geniet het. En my hele lewe het verander vandat ek die baptism gekry het.
Wel, die duiwel dink ek het 'n bietjie van verandering probeer maak in my.
Hy sal.
I stand fast in what I believe.
Ek meen, hy doen sy werk. Hy moet dit doen. Maar ons moet dit net, we must overcome it.
Oh yes, yeah.
The more he tries, the more he will lose because Jesus is in control.
That's right.
We are under the supervision
and
of God.
Your children, you can do nothing with. All you can do is to hand them over.
That's it.
And my son, both my boys, phoned me within 2 days of each other. And I could hear the middle one was not at all well. But yesterday when he spoke to me, and I thought, oh Lord, thank you. And the eldest son's also been in hospital. And he phoned me from America to say, Mom, everything seems fine, but we'll know once I've had my eyes sorted out.
Okay.
So I thank God for it, because even with myself, with being in and out of hospital I just always had a feeling of amazing peace.
Yeah.
It was quite uncanny. And one of the things that they used to say to me, they want to close the curtains for the ward. And I said, no, you don't. Why not? Because I want to look at that beautiful mountain. And then one night I saw a star. And I thought, okay, Lord, you followed me up to Kenard one time with a star. You're there to tell me you're there for me. So
here you again.
Yeah.
Claudia, baie dankie dat jy met ons kom praat het. Baie dankie vir jou gesels. Dankie vir jou baie mooi getuienis.
Dankie.
En ons bid net seën op jou en Ian vorentoe. Ons weet hy gaan gesond word. Ons weet hy gaan weer stap.
Ja.
Ons weet he will be the man that God wants him to be.
Ja.
Baie dankie. Baie dankie dat jy ingeskakel het. Van my, Ina, ons program Mosaïek en Claudia Pope. Tot volgende keer. Shalom.
Shalom.
Destined today by the living water in the hands of the potter, in the hands of the potter.